October 14th, 1926, the dawn felt wrong. A crimson sky bled over the Peruvian highlands, as if warning. 6 figures trudged along a crumbling Finca road toward the mountains. Dr. Elias Hawthorne led them, archaeologist, linguist, and quiet obsessive. Beside him walked Baron Victor Lemaire, financier and war profiteer. 2 local guides followed, Mateo Ruiz and young Hernando. A single girl, pale and silent, sat atop a mule. Her name was Inez. She never spoke, only hummed. At the rear, Father Armand kept his head bowed in prayer. They carried with them a map no one should possess, stolen from a sealed Jesuit archive in Lisbon. Its parchment smelled of rust, soot, and dried blood. The map's edges were burnt, its center etched in ancient symbols. At its heart, a single word written in Quechua, Sombra. The destination was whispered about for centuries, La Ciudad de Sombras, the lost city of shadows. A city no one returned from, except in broken fragments. Baron Lemaire believed it hid treasures older than empires. Hawthorne believed it contained records of a vanished civilization. The guides believed something entirely different, that the city was alive. They spoke of masked children who roamed the hills after dark, of bells ringing from the mist, though no churches stood there. Mateo's grandfather claimed he saw lights move beneath the riverbed. Every tale ended the same way, a missing child and silence. The journey turned strange by the 3rd night. Their campfire flickered green, though no wind stirred. Inez hummed a low tune, haunting and circular. Father Armand wept silently in his sleep, clutching a rosary that burned his palms. On October 21st, the expedition awoke to find Hernando gone. His footprints ended in a perfect circle of ash. In the circle lay small clay idols shaped like children. Each idol had a real human tooth set into its mouth. The air smelled of river clay and iron. Hawthorne documented everything, even as Mateo begged to turn back. By October 27th, they reached a valley swallowed by cloud. The trees grew in spiral formations, bark carved with sigils. Birds sang in backwards rhythms, their calls repeating like whispers. A stone colonnade jutted from the earth, bleached white with age. Father Armand fainted upon seeing it, murmuring, "Ledger of Souls." They descended into the ruins through a narrow tunnel. Beneath the earth lay chambers lined with carvings of screaming mouths. One wall bore a date etched deep, November 3rd, 1824. Beneath it, a tiny handprint pressed into stone, impossibly fresh. As night fell, they were surrounded. Figures emerged silently from the mist, dressed in linen robes. Each wore a black bird mask, faces completely hidden. One elder figure carried a staff tipped with a child's skull. In a voice like sand, he named their expedition aloud, even though Hawthorne had never spoken it. He called the city a ledger of owed sorrow. The masked order offered a bargain, silence for safe passage. Hawthorne refused. Baron Lemaire, trembling, agreed. Mateo dropped his lantern and ran into the trees. His screams faded into distant humming, Inez's tune. At dawn, only 4 remained. The masked figures vanished, leaving tokens of obsidian shaped like eyes. Hawthorne pressed deeper into the ruins, driven by obsession. They found a vast hall filled with tiny stone thrones. Upon each throne sat a statue of a child. The statues' faces were lifelike, disturbingly human, mouths sealed shut. Lemaire discovered a black ledger beneath one throne. Inside were names written in countless languages, including Hernando's, dated just 1 day before. Father Armand begged Hawthorne to destroy it. Hawthorne instead tore out a page and pocketed it. When they returned to Lima, nothing was the same. An unnamed government office seized their relics and journals. A rain-coated agent stamped each artifact unfit for archive. He logged their case under cold numerals, Operation Sombra. That same night, Inez disappeared from her locked room. Her humming echoed faintly from the church bell tower. On December 2nd, Hawthorne boarded a steamer to Lisbon. Witnesses claim a fog swallowed the ship whole at sea. Lemaire retreated to a clinic in Geneva, speaking only in whispers. Before his death, he scratched the words, "The children remember," into the underside of his bed frame. Mateo returned to his village, hair white, lips sewn shut. Father Armand was found wandering the desert carrying no shadow. Years passed. In 1967, A group of amateur explorers uncovered Hawthorne's lost black journal inside a crumbling monastery library. The pages were mildew-stained, ink smeared into illegible curses. One photograph fell free, a plaza filled with stone children. Their faces were unmistakably real. On the back, a map was drawn, but it pointed not to the ruins, but to a small coastal town called San Isidro, 1934. Census records for San Isidro revealed a disturbing truth. Dozens of children baptized in the town vanished without burial records. The church ledger contained blank pages where names should have been. The mayor's final correspondence contained only one chilling word: closed. In 1999, a house fire consumed San Isidro's last standing building. Inside, firefighters found an attic door leading downward. The stairwell smelled of iron and stagnant river water. Below was a chamber filled with hundreds of small wooden stools. Each stool cradled a stone figure of a child, each with a real tooth in its mouth. Authorities sealed the site, dismissing it as folklore. But a masked agent was photographed leaving the scene with a camera and a black ledger plate. The ledger's page read simply, "Commodities, human likenesses, catalogued." Soon after, strange children began appearing in distant coastal towns. They sang the same circular lullaby Inez once hummed. A grandmother in Pisco swore a boy was not her grandson. He whispered names of children who had vanished a century earlier. Modern investigators requested files on Operation Sombra. Governments responded with polite denials and empty boxes. Maps of the region no longer list the island of Sombra. In 2015, a private survey vessel scanned the black waters offshore. Beneath the waves, they found symmetrical stones arranged like streets. At midnight, their sonar recorded a vibration like distant collective crying. When the tapes were released, every name and timestamp was blacked out. A final piece surfaced in 2022. A whistleblower mailed a rusted key and a single name: Sister Estella of the Ordo Noctis. Her parish photograph revealed kind eyes and a stitched mouth. The key matched no known lock in any archive. Estella's records ended abruptly on June 6, 1941. The same year, dozens of small statues appeared beneath church crypts. Her final whispered confession, recorded on brittle tape, survives. It gives coordinates: 12-34-17S, 75-122W, followed by a child's name violently scratched out. Journalists visited the site but found only shifting black sand. As they departed, the tide washed up a single child's shoe dated 1936, perfectly preserved. Recently, divers in Cadiz recovered a waterlogged notebook. Inside, a single chilling line: "Do not speak of what sings beneath the stone." The last page contained Hawthorne's final message, written in trembling ink: "Forgive me. They are coming back." Then silence, followed by a faint metallic bell ringing beneath the recording. We dug the city with careful hands and found it was digging back.